So I'm not like B Dirt and G and Tate when they running shows. I'm gonna give y'all homework. I'm giving y'all homework that needs to be turned in at the end of the show. All right, just to make sure everybody's paying attention. This goes for everybody in the live chat as well. I'm gonna ask this question, and we're gonna come back to it at the end of the show so I can get the answers. I need your top three running back duos of all time.
Ooh.
Think about it. Think about it for a second. Top three, and then
Ooh.
go back. We're gonna have a little bit of talk about it. A little fun. Have a little fun. All right.
Ooh.
All right.
That's a hard question, Pay.
It's a very difficult question, G. Yes, you are correct.
Tate, what you over there smacking on them?
No Diddy. No Diddy. You got to chill.
Tate, you got them lips smacking on them chips. I heard it. Look, I ain't giving you the fine because I'd rather have you muted. You smacking on the chips, man. Go ahead, Pay.
I said for one, I ain't sucking on nothing.
I said smacking. I didn't say
on a. You don't hear me.
That's
smacking?
no Diddy for you. I said smacking.
We were having a
No, I'm
conversation.
telling you, I ain't
backstage
sucking on it. You
about
said Tate over there sucking. You said that.
No, I didn't say sucking. I said
Yes,
smacking.
you did. I mean, this would be easy to find after the tape because it's right at the beginning. Guaranteed.
I said smacking. I said
Guaranteed.
smacking. Bet quarter time, 20 minutes. Half hour, quarter time, whatever you want to bet.
15. Bet 15.
Bet 15, I said smacking.
I'm about to go on my phone, listen right now.
Please do. Go ahead, Pay.
All right, so we already was talking about something similar to that backstage, but all right.
Bye.
So everybody, thanks a lot for showing up for overtime. You know, we gonna make this real good for you all. We have a surprise for you all. It's gonna be footballed out this conversation, this hour rather. We don't want you all to fall asleep or nothing like that. We're gonna talk about football, college football, and some pro football. But before we do that, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about baseball real quick, and then get into the football. So wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching this, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, thanks a lot. We'll be right back after these quick commercial break. Shout out to our advertisers. All right, we are back. So, crazy thing happened in sports this week. Winter meetings ended in Dallas. The winter meetings, for those that don't know, is the annual meeting of the top heads of the Major League Baseball teams. You got your whole front office. They get together. They schmooze it up in New York. It's usually in New York, Florida. This year was in Dallas, and you get a lot of deals done. Boris, this is when Scott Boris and some of those other guys, this is where they come to shine, right? Scott Boris, he had a mega client out there in free agency looking for some mega dollars. Gee, what client got those mega dollars this week?
That boy right there in the left-hand corner on that picture, right there for the New York now Mets. They went cross town, and he got you got to correct me. Was it the biggest contract in all sports history? That's why I saw that somewhere. The biggest contract in all of sports history.
Maybe North American sports. Well, maybe just United States sports. It is the largest by total dollars, $765 million for those who are unaware.
Ooh.
Over 15 years. So he's not getting the same. It's not hitting the same as Shohei Ohtani's.
Ohtani getting $70 million a year.
Well, AAV, right? Because he's only getting paid $2 million a year for the first 5 years, and then he's getting 68. He's getting the rest. He's getting the rest like after he's pretty much playing for the Dodgers.
Ooh. $725 million.
It averaged $50 million a year. Soto's contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Otani averaged $70 million a year. However, he getting paid $70 million a year for 10 years.
My question is it a big deal that the Yankees lost out on a big time free agent like this?
Yeah, it's a big time thing. I mean, he's probably without a doubt, he's probably a top maybe 5 actual baseball player in all of baseball, and the dude goes cross town.
That's the part that hurts. He went to the chop shop. He went to Queens.
It's the big ugly Queens.
Yeah, right.
He went to the ugly, man.
They got just as much money over there on that side of town in Flushings as they do over there in the Bronx.
That is facts.
Soto wasn't even the best player on his own team last year.
That is facts too. Well, but he's a big time player though.
He's definitely not the captain.
Yeah, but pay that contract is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, man. I don't
50 million a year is ridiculous,
bro. Listen,
Shohei's getting 70. That's ridiculous.
I know.
Maybe
I'm not comparing apples to. Yeah, maybe I'm not comparing apples to oranges. And they play a lot of games, 182 games, man. But Lord have mercy, that is a lot of bread, bro. 725 million.
So Juan Soto, he's getting his. I think he got 60-70 million up front at signing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's getting his average for the first 5 years. He has an out clause after 5 years. The only out clause that Shohei Ohtani has is if the president of baseball operations and the managing partner for the Dodgers, if they for some reason step down or are replaced, then he can opt out of his contract. But for all intents and purposes, he is locked into the Dodgers for the duration of that deal. And like I said, he's only getting paid $2 million for the first 5 years of that contract. $2 million a year. After that, then he's gonna getting $68 million a year, whether he plays for the Dodgers or not.
But I mean, y'all making small talk. Or that's still the contract is $750 million over 10 years, or $700 million over 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's facts. I don't.
So by the time he played 10, he cleared all his 700. Soto got to play 15 to get 750.
If you ask me, this is just me spitballing, and I can't see you take, but I don't think Soho's going to stay there for the duration of that contract. I think that opt-out clause is there just for that reason. He's going to opt out in 5 years if he's still at the height of his powers. He's going to get another $700 million contract, maybe even $800 million.
Oh my God, that's a ridiculous amount of money, man. Hey, you see that super chat by Claude, bro? You see what he said?
Shout out to the mayor of the Matrix, Claude Bishop.
Governor.
Oh, the governor of Groundtown.
Yep.
Claude Bishop. He wants to know. Well, he's saying, guess who pays for it? The fans.
Facts.
Facts. Prices go up a little bit, but the big cost is the TV deals they got.
That's correct. That's you
pay for it on that end.
Well, yeah, you kind of do, because depending on, let's see, the Mets, their TV situation is the SNY network.
Yep. Facts.
Yeah. So expect those that bill to get a little bit higher on the month side.
Somebody's giving up some dineros, dog.
Of course.
And the owner ain't giving up no dineros. He gonna get that bread. But maybe he thinks he's gonna get a ticket sales, gate sales. People gonna want to come over and see the product. He stayed in the same town. They already liked him. They loved him over in the Yankees. Now he just come cross town on a different borough.
What's the name of the Steve Cohen?
Yeah.
Mets owner.
Yeah.
He rich.
Facts.
Rich. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
True.
It's big bread.
True.
Bread.
So I mean, he's got the money. Well, that's not how you do business. You can't put your own money into your business like that.
Facts.
But he's got the connections to get investors and all the other stuff. He can find some ways to pump money into that product. But I do agree with Claude. The fans will pay for it in some way, somehow. It may not be the gate, but you're gonna pay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gonna pay.
and if they got a winning product, you really gonna pay.
Where you that from?
So you gonna pay. Hey, I want to say Minister Society, but I don't think that's it.
I don't know.
I feel like it's minutes. I think it just hit me. You say, "Oh yeah, you gonna pay."
That sounds like Friday now, the way you saying it. All right. So that was our baseball segment, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's talk about some football. Let's get right back into that pigskin. All right. So Saquon Barkley, you all know who he's playing this weekend. We ain't gonna really talk about the game right now. We're gonna talk about him and his pursuit of NFL immortality, a record that a lot of people didn't think was gonna get broken. But that's right, Thomas Riley, it was Boys in the Hood. But when you increase the number of games in a season, records tend to fall. Saquon Barkley is closing in on that history. Like I said, he needs to average 125 yards a game over the next 4 games, and he will break Eric Dickerson's record for the most yards in a season. Fellas, 2-part question. 1, does he do it? And 2, does it matter that he's doing it in an 18-game season versus a 17-game season?
Tay, you want to answer first? You want me to
go? Right now, if he breaks into 17 games, Saquon will be averaging about 124 yards a game. Dickerson in 16 games averaged 131 yards a game. So Saquon, to stay on Dickerson's pace, needs to get have the number at 22, 30, 36 to be on Dickerson's pace.
Mm-hmm.
So
that ain't happening.
You don't think that's possible though?
It's possible, but he ain't getting no 22, 36 though. He ain't.
But Saquon right now is at 13 games played, 266 yards per. It don't say that. I cut off the yards. Well, maybe it wasn't there. But so 266 times the 6.1 average. Let me see what that is, because that's what he's averaging rushing.
About 16 and some change.
266 times 6.1. No, that's wrong. How would you figure it out? 266 divided by 2.1. 6.1.
Okay.
Okay, I'll figure it out. Go ahead and say what you're saying, Pay.
For me, if I have to answer the question, I think he will break it. Like G pointed out in the first hour, he's G and our chat fam General Afton. The boy.
So right now, Saquon got about 1,625 yards.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 games left, so he need about a little under about 480 yards in 4 games. That's about 120 a game. To get where he say he need to, he had to be about 140 a game. Yeah, that might not
for him to stay on the pace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the pace matters, to be honest with you. I don't think it matters from a argument standpoint. And here's why. Mm-hmm. Eric Dickerson broke a record that was set in a 14-game season.
Facts.
Right? So
but what was Jim Brown's number per, because he had the record before Dickerson, right?
Yes.
So what was Jim Brown's 14-game rushing record?
Stat boy, look that up for me. So for me, I don't think it's necessarily an issue. Now, we can also just compartmentalize the conversation about maybe not being a total yard conversation, more so as a yards per game conversation, and make that to be the king. But at some point, that's going to fall off by the wayside, right? Because I'm sure somebody was saying that when Eric Dickerson broke Jim Brown's record, and I'm sure somebody's going to say it when Saquon breaks Dickerson's record. But after like 3-4 years, we're going to get tired of saying that. We're going to say, you know what? That boy got the most yards in an NFL season.
Jim,
Crown him.
Jim Brown averaged 133 over 14 games and had 1863. So he averaged more than Dickerson per game. Dickerson averaged 131.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. He did a lot of work in 14 games, and then Dickerson did what he did in 2 more games. So I'm sure Jim Brown is still one of those guys, one of those ones, right?
But it's always the old school versus the new school, Pay. It's this argument in all sports. Because they play different, they play a different amount of games. The game's not ref the same, it's not played the same. Oh, they would have had to play back when we played, when you could just kill people and this, that, and this. He would have never got that. That's what the argument comes down to all the time. But bottom line is the record is the record. And if he breaks it, he's the man. If he breaks it, he's the guy. Without a shadow of a doubt, he's the man.
So do you look at him as being a better player than Eric Dickerson?
Well, I'll even look at this. Saquon, I think, is still almost – I think he can get about 700 yards receiving too. Maybe 800 yards receiving on top of that. So we're talking about maybe 3 bills in total yards. Dog, that's a monster. That's like unstoppable, bro.
That's a question I want you to answer, Tate. Is Saquon a better player than Eric Dickerson?
No. He wasted too many seasons with the Giants.
Wait. I think you're answering a different question. You're answering, is his career up to where Eric Dickerson's was, I guess, at that point. But player for players, talent for talent, peak for peak, would you take Saquon over Dickerson?
I'm taking Eric Dickerson.
Why is that?
Well, one, he's my all-time favorite running back growing up.
Is that so?
Two, yeah, I mean, it might be some bias there. Eric Dickerson. I mean, like Saquon is explosive now. We see what he can do. That was Eric Dickerson back in '84. 2105 in his age 24 season. Yeah, I got. What?
He was a dog, Tate, but Saquon, man, Saquon different, bro. Saquon is probably the best version of a running back that we've seen in NFL, period. Being able to catch the ball out of the backfield, block, break 70-yard runs at a drop of a hat. For one season, oh, man, this dude different.
Well, yeah, for one season, maybe, especially if he gets the record.
Yeah.
But he's not the best I've seen. He's had a great year, maybe a best year for a running back if he do everything that you mentioned. But I mean, let's locate Pay. The list is there. Let's go down the list of the top 10 all-time rushing seasons.
All right, so top 10 rushing seasons. We have a tie at 10 between this bum in Green Bay colors and the GOAT, Barry Sanders. They both had a season with 1,883 yards. Earl Campbell, he had a season with 1,934 yards in 1980. The Juice Man.
That was 16 then, right? Earl Campbell?
1980. Yes, that was.
Okay.
The Juice Man, O.J. Simpson. He had a season with 2,003 yards for Buffalo. I think he won an MVP that year. Chris Johnson.
I think that was 14 games.
That was 14 games.
So he averaged more than Jim Brown.
He did. Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Chris Johnson coming in at number 7. He had just 3 more yards than the guy previous I talked about, O.J. Simpson, in 2009.
Hey, can I ask a question? So we talking about these seasons, right? So yards per game don't matter. Average yards per game, because O.J. Simpson is far in the book. Eric Dickerson is 131. O.J. is 143.
I think if you want to bring in the yards per game conversation, you're going to end up having a conversation about errors, right? You're going to end up having a conversation about, carrying a team. O.J. Simpson, that Buffalo team was trash. And he still won an MVP. Why? Because he was the entire offense. You can average 143 yards. And I'm not saying he was just, he was stat piling. He was a compiler. But I'm saying if you never pass the ball, if you're always at the ball in your hand, you're going to end up falling into some yards. You're going to end up falling into some records, right? Versus the guy who's right up ahead of him on this list, Chris Johnson. We remember that season, 2009. He was a dog. He was going 70 yards like every other carry seemed like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Facts.
Hey, Pay.
Facts.
I'm sorry. Did we address Claude's comment yet?
We
No,
got
we
2
didn't.
comments, but 2 super chats. Claude Bishop for the 5, man. Thank you. He said, regardless of what Big G says, Caleb Williams will be a star in the league, and the killer is the only running back to do it in 15 seasons.
14-game season.
Yeah, 14 games. Then we got another super chat by Claude for the $2, man. We thank you, Matrix Mayor.
He did, Claude.
Dickerson faced 9 in the box every game. I don't know about that.
That's how they played defense back in the day, Big G.
I understand that, but I don't know.
He lost to that 85 Bears defense in that playoff.
I got to go watch some film, man. I'm going to go watch some film.
The Bears
Before I
definitely
make
played
a
9 in the
comment.
box.
Oh, the Bears did, because the Bears, they played everybody. Well, they played 8 in the box, single high safety. If you played 2 receivers, they covered your receivers, and that was it. You didn't know where the blitz was coming. That's how the 85 Bears was. They played 8 in the box.
4-6
Single high
defense.
safety. Yeah, 4-6, 8 in the box, all day and night, 2 corners, single high safety, and you didn't know where the blitz was coming from.
And the thing is now, like you say the errors, the field is much more open now because of the spread offenses, the passing game. It's much more lanes than it was back in the day.
Yeah. But Saquon is I'm not arguing for or against. All I'm saying is that Saquon is a little bit different. He's a little bit different. I think he's definitely better than Jamal Lewis. I think he's not better than Barry Sanders. He's definitely better than Derrick Henry. He's definitely better than Terrell Davis.
Better than Derrick Henry. How much consistency Derrick Henry got?
Bro, I'm talking about for the season. Like a one season, looking at one season.
All right, see. We look at it different, but okay.
He's not better than Adrian Peterson's season.
No, I don't think so.
He's not better than Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson's season was
OJ.
unbelievable. I think he got OJ, man.
You crazy.
Hey, man, I think he got him.
You crazy, man.
Man, Saquon different, man. I'm telling y'all, y'all better put some respect on that boy
OJ
named
was
Saquon.
different in 1970, Big G. That speed, a Heisman Trophy.
Bro, he was playing. He was playing against plumbers. OJ was playing against plumbers and guys who just came out of the military.
You can't say this ain't baseball.
They was garbage. They was garbage. They wasn't football players, bro. Come on, man.
You going too far. He better than Lamont Green, better than Chris Johnson.
You got to take this. You got to take the list down.
They was better.
No, I can only pay basis off the ones I saw, right? Because that's how I have my opinion. Saquon, he's going to break the record. But do I think his season is better than some of the other ones I saw that was listed? I don't think his season is better, at least from how I take the game. Maybe I'm watching football differently, and I'm not as impressed as with things as I used to be. But I was well blown away by Chris Johnson's season. CJ2K, that was a thing. I was well more impressed with AP's MVP season. And like I said, I'll give you the caveat. Maybe I'm less impressed by things in general nowadays. But if I was to rank Saquon's season, like right now, I would put it in the back 5. That's just me.
Like, so of this list, the best seasons to me, obviously, is Eric Dickerson.
Bias.
Top three. Eric Dickerson, OJ, average 143 a game. And I probably had to go AP because he came back off a knee injury and won the MVP in 2012. And I think they was playing Baltimore or somebody. He was 8 yards away from cracking that record. So, yeah, Eric Dickerson, OJ, AP.
I go AP, Barry Sanders, and then Saquon once he cracked the leg.
Why Barry Sanders? Remind me what Barry Sanders did.
Oh, he's on that twice, so you got to talk about him. You got to specify which one you're talking about.
You talking about playing 8 in the box every game he faced. 8 in the box, that's a guarantee. He never had no help ever. And
But Big G,
you seen plays where he made 7, 8, 9 dudes miss. 7, 8, 9 dudes miss.
In 97, who were the Bears receivers in 97?
Curtis Conway, one of the GOATs, and probably Marcus Robinson.
That sounds about right.
Or maybe Bobby Ingram. Off the top of my head, it's one of them two. It's too early for it to be Marty Booker.
And the Lions receivers was Herman Moore and Perryman.
Hey, Herman Moore was a dog.
Herman Moore and Perryman. That was the Lions receivers. And who was the trash? Oh, Rodney Peete was their quarterback for a little while. And then after they had Rodney Peete, they had Andre Ware for a hot second. And then after Andre Ware, it was I can't think of it. Eric, I think Heupel was their quarterback. So they was come on, dog. Barry was out there killing people.
Did Herman Moore play with Barry?
Yes. Yeah, Herm played with Barry. Yeah, Herm played with Barry. I don't think Herm's a top 25 receiver, though.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
but that time he was one of the best.
He was a dog. He was a dog in the 90s.
Man, but Barry was, man.
Well, Barry's
maybe that's my bias because I went up there often to see my godbrother play.
Herman Moore and Johnny Morton.
Yeah, I seen my godbrother play, and because he played for the Lions, William White, and I went up there often, and I would see Barry Sanders do stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen nobody ever do what he did, ever. I remember we played in high school.
In that year, Herman Moore had 104 catches, 1,300 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Johnny Moore, so they had 2,000-yard receivers. I bet OJ had no 1,000-yard receivers, none.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah. When we spoke to that team was trash. Who they throwing the ball to? It's not like they threw the ball a lot in the 70s either.
So when you talk about playing 9 in the box, I love what Barry did, but that one comes at number 4 for me.
Bro, in high school, my senior year in high school, we played the Detroit Lions players in a charity basketball game. Chris Spielman, Barry Sanders, Benny Blaze, William White, Mel Gray, and Jerry Ball. We played a pickup basketball game. I stood right next to Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders is about 5'7". They say he fought, and he ain't. He like 5'7".
I was there, G, and that's basketball. We talk about 2,000-yard seasons.
But bro, he's a little man. That's what I'm trying to get at. He about 5'7". He maybe 215 pounds. He was little, bro. He was Marcus Wright was almost Barry Sanders' size, almost. He was not a big guy.
No.
And for him to do what he did in the league, when I know he was playing against killers, oh, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Barry Sanders, GOAT. In my book, GOAT.
Sidebar. Barry Sanders got 3 of the greatest running back seasons ever.
Facts.
2 in the NFL and the greatest running back season in college football.
Facts.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
I think that's a perfect time to segue to our college football portion of this show, right? The college football picks or the teams have been selected. Last Sunday, I'm sure you all talked about this ad nauseum on the Know-It-Alls. Check it out, the Know-It-All show on every Sunday, coming to you live. So first thing, for those who may not have heard, what is the biggest surprise from the committee with the decision of the top 12?
That SMU made the playoffs.
Why is that?
Because they're an ACC runner-up with 2 losses. They never beat a top 25 team, and strength of schedule was 86 in the country. So you didn't beat a top 25 team all year. Your strength of schedule was 86, and you got 2 losses against the 2 top 25 opponents you played. Nah. Shouldn't have got in there. Nah. Not for me.
I don't think ACC should have got 2 teams. I think they should have got their champion, and that was it.
Facts.
Since Miami fell apart down a stretch. Georgia Tech Georgia. I mean, I don't even know why I even mentioned Georgia Tech. They're not in it for this conversation. SMU, as you said, they were good, but they lost to a 3-loss Clemson team. Now, Tate, do you agree? Do you agree with G's take that SMU
Nope,
should
I
not
don't
have
agree.
been there?
I don't agree. I mean, what everybody like Big G and Ma doing is trying to make the perfect the enemy of the good. This thing was created because the smaller division, smarter schools didn't have a chance to get into the 4. Now we got 12, and they got a chance. You saying, "Oh no, they shouldn't be there." You should put another Power 5 team in with more losses than the team. Them team played on their schedule. So as far as it go, they played. They did what they had to do to make a playoff. So have no problem with SMU. Have no problem with Clemson. Clemson won their conference. I mean, yeah, Clemson beat SMU, but SMU got just as much right to be there as Clemson, even though they lost to Clemson. I don't have a problem with it. It worked out perfectly to me. Everybody's saying, "Oh, we need 5 SEC teams and 5 Big Ten teams, and Notre Dame need to get in the conference." You just making talk about nothing, man. I mean, it's going to be the same thing, Pay, when they go to 16 games. We're going to be talking about 17 and 18.
That's true.
No, I doubt
ain't gonna
that.
stop.
I doubt that.
No. I agree with you, Tate. That's why I said it should have stayed at 4, because the whole, even though I know there's money underneath, the root cause is money, right? But for the people that aren't paying attention to that aspect, they're saying too many good teams weren't making the playoffs. We got to make it more fair, make it more, equitable for the other teams. Like as you pointed out, Tate, I said there's always going to be the argument from the teams that don't make it. If you go to 8, you're going to have itching coming from 9 and 10, 12, 13. You're going to be talking about why 13 should have got in, and so on and so forth. You just got to cut it where it is. I do not have any time in my day to spend arguing for a team that got 3 losses. Gee, what was you about to say?
Well, I'm saying this, and I think that, and I've said it already, and I'm going to repeat it, that if the Big Ten and the SEC don't represent in the national championship, there will be major changes to next year's college football playoff, because that's who makes all the money, is the Big Ten and the SEC. I still think that conference realignment is coming.
And that's why, Big G, they hosting games. Ohio State's the 8 seed, so they can host a game.
I understand that. But the hosting game don't matter. I'm talking about playing for the whole thing, the trophy. So when they get to playing for the trophy, it better be the SEC on one side and the Big Ten on one side, or it better be both SEC, or it better be both Big Ten. If it don't look like that, there's going to be major changes to the rankings next season.
So you're saying they're going to juice it for the SEC and Big Ten. Okay.
Yeah, they make and because they're not done with conference realignment. We know that this playoff structure is only going to last for this year and next year. After that, they are going to 16 teams. There's a model out there that's already saying what they possibly will do is eliminate Notre Dame's ability to get to the playoffs, not let those small schools get in, and take 4 teams from each conference, the top 4, let them play, and then those 4 champions play for the chip. That's what the model we're going to, because you got to make the money. You got to have the best teams in the playoffs to make the money. So I understand. I get why people want Boise State. Boise State ain't winning no games in the playoff. Arizona State ain't winning no games in the playoff. And SMU ain't winning no game in the playoff. They gone. First, whenever they play, they're up out of there. Whoever they play, they ain't going to see no game.
Have you ever seen a 16 seed be the 1 seed or a 15 seed be the 2 seed? You've seen it.
That's in basketball. That don't even
I've seen
matter.
it in basketball.
Matter. Sports.
That don't even matter. Not in football.
Give the little guys a chance.
The little guys ain't going to make you the bread that you need to continue with the NIL and pumping the college football. The best teams have to play.
They got us down with G.
What? No, I'm telling you, they're going to force Notre Dame into a conference. Notre Dame's going to get forced. And conference realignment ain't done. I'm telling you right now, it ain't done. They're going to start picking teams off. The Big Ten going to go to certain teams and be like, come on. The SEC going to go to certain teams and say, come on. That's where we're headed, whether people like it or not. It's going to be 2 conferences. And the super and if I'm a team, if I'm an SEC team or a Big Ten team, I play Cupcake City and I move to a 10-game schedule. 10 games that I play conference teams and 2 cupcakes. That way I don't hurt myself at all to make sure I make the playoff. Forget playing cross-conference rivals. Forget all that. We're going to play 10 teams in our own conference to guarantee that we're going to get a spot because we're going to play against the best, and I'm getting rid of playing them cupcakes. Get them out of here.
Yeah, I agree with you, G. There's no reason to play a balanced schedule anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play. In fact, I'm going the opposite of you, G. I'm playing all cupcakes, right? I'm playing all cupcakes. I'm not putting killers on my schedule. Out of conference killers on my schedule.
Yeah.
Because the committee told you this year that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's why Ohio State is playing Grambling and Ohio University next year. Now, they got Texas the first game, but they playing Grambling and Ohio University. That's intelligent. You don't play nobody that can hurt your chances to make the playoff.
Yeah, let's get this 11-win season and go right to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what's got to happen until they fix it. Because in the NFL, and I'm just saying, we got the AFC and NFC. You got four divisions. And with inside they take the best teams from that, and then they play. You don't leave the best teams out of the playoffs in the NFL. College football is moving directly to be like the NFL.
Well, it is pro football. It's just not the NFL, but it is pro football in some respects. In a lot of respects.
It is. Yeah.
I agree with Hershey. Alabama would be one and done if they was in it. If they was 12 and playing 5, bye-bye.
Probably.
I don't know about all of that. I don't know about all that.
G, who should have been in the SMU spot?
Bama.
Or
South Carolina. Bama or South Carolina.
How many losses South Carolina got?
3.
Yeah, I think when Clemson beat SMU, that was the one. That's the 1-3 loss team you was going to get. Everybody else, I'm sorry, can't do nothing for you. South
Carolina beat Clemson.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, you didn't get to the big show. You didn't get to have a chance to put your final stamp on your argument. Clemson did.
But they play in the SEC. That's why we're not comparing apples to apples. When you start putting those other teams, the ACC football ain't nothing on the Big Ten or the SEC.
No.
The Big 12 really ain't nothing on them. If the champion of those conferences played in those conferences,
we went from 2 to 4 to 12. So
we're going to go to 16.
Yeah, you can't just put all the big brand name schools in there. Like you got to have at least minimum 3 spots for the little guys that are really good.
Why? They're not going to win a game.
Who beat Notre Dame? Who beat Notre Dame this year?
Northern Illinois, but they ain't going to win a playoff game.
Why?
Boise State is not winning a playoff game.
The teams
not winning a playoff game.
earn their chance, Big G.
Why? But why put them in if they can't
Boise
win?
State's only losses to the number 1 team in the country by 3 points.
They played the 107th ranked schedule the rest of the way. Of course, they should be 11-1.
How many points did Penn State lose to Oregon by?
7.
Was it 7?
In the conference championship game,
was.
or 8. It was 35-27. 35-27 was the final score. So they lost by 8. They lost by a touchdown. If when Boise State plays, whoever they play in the second round, it's adios muchachos. They ain't winning. They gonna get killed. It ain't even gonna be close. Arizona State is gone too. As soon as they let Texas or Clemson roll up against Arizona State, bye-bye. I'll at you. You ain't winning no games. So the playoffs supposed to be set up for it to be competitive.
Now, the one thing I'll agree with is I think once you got your 12, like the NFL doing the playoffs, you should reseed once you make it by record. So the top team should always play the lowest remaining seeded team in the tournament.
Facts. That'll happen next year if the top teams don't make it. If some crazy way, they're gonna tweak it. I guarantee you that they tweak it. They're going to make sure it's SEC and Big Ten in that chip. They going to get every year.
We did think for that this was, and they told us this last year. I think the biggest issue is that the committee is no set formula to what they got going on. Last year when they left FSU out of the playoffs, it was the message was received to us is that we're looking for, as you said, G, the best games, the best competition, the best TV product.
Because what, if it was 12 teams, Florida State would have made it. But with it being 4 teams and you want the best games, you got to cut them out. And look at the direction they went in after their quarterback got hurt last year. They winning by 3, winning by 4. Then this year, what they do? Trash.
Yeah, they was. Florida State was not a good team this year.
No, very trash. And I mean, to that point, I think we will all be a lot better served. I think college football will be better served if there was an actual process than just a bunch of people in a locked room deciding on, who gets to play. And I don't think that it's just them people deciding. I think the ESPN, Big Ten Network, I think they have they say as well. It's a TV product at the end of the day. The idea that these teams are there based on merit alone is fugazi. I don't believe that to be exact. I don't think that to be the point at all. I think it's an invitational. It's not necessarily the playoffs. It's an invitational. We're inviting you because we want you to come. We want you to play in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Now they say like if you win your conference, blah blah blah, you get to play, right? I think that's their escape, just so they can have this certain amount of teams. I think what they should do in the future, make it more plain as day, is like what gets you into the playoffs.
So
and that.
I know that's Big-G, because we talked about this a few weeks ago. At one time, you was on Alabama making over Indiana. Why did Indiana make it?
They have one loss against Ohio State. But now, let's compare apples to apples. Notre Dame had one loss against Northern Illinois. Indiana had one loss against Ohio State. Notre Dame played a cupcake schedule.
And Boise State had one loss by 3 points against number 1 team in the country.
Because the way that they did the seeding, they said that the highest ranked conference champions. So, Pay, this is my thing, bro. In every other sport, head-to-head matters and strength of schedule matters. It did not matter in the college football playoff. It didn't matter at all.
That's my point. It's an invitation. It was not necessarily an actual playoffs.
Strength of schedule and head-to-head, they threw that out the window. They was like, that don't count. That don't matter. But in every other sport, it matters. So you didn't get the best teams in because head-to-head and strength of schedule, which is a major metric that they use in all sports.
Why we have TCU in the Final Four a year or 2 ago?
They was undefeated. They didn't lose to the national championship game. They was undefeated. They didn't lose no game until the national championship game.
They was overmatched.
We understand that, but they
good story.
They won out.
They won a couple games by last second field goal and everything. They easily could have had 2 losses.
But all it counts is dubs anyway.
Okay, and when they got there, they got destroyed.
Well, they didn't get destroyed. They beat Michigan in the first round. Let's do some clarity.
But no, when they got there, you said championship game, they got destroyed.
Yes, they did. But that 2022 Georgia Bulldog team, that might be one of the top 3 college football teams in history. In the history of college football, that might be a top 3 or 4 team. That team,
2022 Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh my God! You know how many? Hell, 7 of them start for the damn Eagles. For real.
On defense, but I always gotta go to LSU, to the Miami Hurricanes.
Top 5.
And
George Pickens was on that team.
You said top 3 though.
George Pickens was. I mean, there was some dogs on that team. Darnell Washington was on that team. Jones was on that team. There was dogs on that squad, man. Them boys was loaded. Brock Bowers was on that team. They was. What's the kid? The wide receiver for the Chargers? What's his name?
Quentin Johnson.
No.
TCU trash.
The
McConkey.
McConkey was on that squad. They was loaded. They was loaded, man. That Georgia team was for real. So
did they go undefeated?
Undefeated. No losses. No losses. Dogs. So like that's what I'm saying. It's just strength of schedule and head-to-head should count, and it don't. It don't count. Notre Dame should not have been ranked higher than Indiana. Penn State shouldn't have been ranked higher than Ohio State. I'm sorry. We played head up, and I beat you, and we ended up with the same record. No.
Can you imagine?
They went further. They had one more game to do their resume,
That's
like
true.
Tay said. Penn State did.
And
hey, Ohio State should have lost to Michigan. Period.
That's fine, but we played the same amount of games, and we played head up, and I beat you.
Penn State played one more game.
They both ended up
played,
10 and 2.
They played 13 games.
They played the championship game.
If I beat you head up, that matters, bro.
It should matter, but can you imagine, before we go to this last break, before we get to our last topic, can you imagine what type of hair would be getting pulled out in Ohio right now if it was still a 4-team playoff and you all lost to Michigan, a team that you all were 20 point favorite?
Come on. It wouldn't be no hair being pulled out. Ryan Day would be gone already.
Trash
bags and all this stuff in front of his office door. Keys, locks, chains.
Change the key code and everything. My son-in-law sent me a picture from Dave's thing. He had a Tatum jersey up on his wall. I see. That's why that big trash is going on. Get that Tatum jersey off your wall, dog. Get a dog up there. Get the Tatum out.
Oh, what are you talking about?
What
Coach
Tatum?
Day. He had a Tatum jersey. Tatum for the Boston Celtics. No. For the Boston
I thought you said Jack Tatum. Like he was wrong for having a Jack Tatum jersey up.
No, get that Jason Tatum. Get him out of here. Get him off your wall.
Say not a dog, huh?
Not a dog.
I guess that means Jalen Brown's got to be the dog on that squad.
No.
I mean, the defending champs, G. Somebody got to be the dog on that team.
No. When you got a whole bunch of good players, you can win it in the league. Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers. Who could possibly win it this year because they got a whole bunch of good players.
But I'll tell you talking about champions.
Yeah, they can win it. The Cavs can win it.
They could win it, but we're talking about champions. I need to see the examples because every example I've seen in the NBA, they have a dog. They have a top player. And you telling me Tatum, who you think is their top player, is not a dog. Somebody got to be the dog.
Tatum is a dog. His game say dog. His mentality don't say dog. His game say dog.
Dog is 99% mentality. He ain't got that.
LeBron a dog, but he's not a dog like that.
Oh, LeBron's a dog. Both ways.
Hey, man, Mr. Dunn over here talking about saying I'm a Notre Dame hater. I'm not a Notre Dame hater. Notre Dame, and excuse me for saying it, need to get their ass in a conference.
They getting paid not to be. So I don't know.
So pay me and Tate a little bit older. We're going to tell on ourselves. Tate, when we was younger, outside of Nebraska was all the dog teams independents. Florida State, Miami.
Yeah, Florida State. Florida State was in some conference. They was independent.
Never. They was independent. Florida State.
They went to the ACC.
Went to the ACC. Florida State was independent.
Miami was independent. Notre Dame was independent.
Penn State was independent. Everybody else done jumped in the conference but Notre Dame because Notre Dame think that they better than everybody else. And they actually didn't make the television revenue that they thought they were supposed to make. So they need to get in a conference.
They actually be better off getting into the Big Ten.
They're better off going to the ACC.
That is facts. That is
ACC
facts,
would be better off with them.
That is facts because they
ACC
scared to go to the Big Ten.
They just run through the ACC.
Notre Dame is scared to go to the Big Ten because the last times that they done played Michigan and Ohio State, they done got mashed.
You saw it be competitive too against Michigan State back in the day. They played every year.
Yep, because by playing Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State, that's the Notre Dame's recruiting base. They take the same kids. So Notre Dame won't play them because some of those kids that go to Notre Dame, if they see them run out there on the field and get mashed by Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State, they ain't going to Notre Dame. They scared. I ain't hating on them. I'm just calling them what they are. They're scared. That's why they won't join the Big Ten because they ain't going to get on.
Well, they
That's
might
what I'm talking about, Smoothie.
they might need to reconsider the next year or two.
Yeah, to
All
get
right.
them in a conference.
But
They may need to do.
why the ACC pay?
I think the ACC, you putting some more power into that third conference that might be dissolving right before our eyes helps everybody. Iron sharpens iron. As you say, they'll run through the conference. I believe we've seen examples through sports history all the time. You got one dominant team, it just brings everybody else's competition level up. If you you force Notre Dame over there, you increase ACC's television market, you increase ACC's viability in football and all the other sports, you increase ACC's just stature all around, all around this whole conversation. You can't just leave the ACC out like we tried to in this conversation. We tried to say they only deserve one team. Well, maybe I only said that. So if you put them over there, it puts them not on equal footing with the Big Ten and ACC, but it begins to start that trend back for them.
Is the ACC better than the Big 12 as currently constructed
in football?
Yeah,
I would say so.
I agree.
Big G?
I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. Just at the top, just Clemson should beat any team. SMU
just barely though, because the ACC does have Florida State.
Big trash.
But
Syracuse is on the way. SMU's good. Miami's good. North Carolina about to be on the way with Coach Bellichick.
Excellent segue. What was you about to say, Tate?
No, go ahead. That's a great segue, so I won't interrupt you.
North Carolina could possibly be on their way with their new head coach. We're gonna talk about that in 1 second. We got to take a quick commercial break. We gotta get that advertisement dollars in. We got to pay some bills. Stay tuned as we come to our last block of conversation about football. G, you get the MVP of the night. Excellent segue. So, in case you have been under a rock, the news has been bubbling for the last week and a half that the GOAT, the greatest NFL coach of all time, is going to take his talents to Chapel Hill, right there at Kenan Stadium. G. You said North Carolina is on the way now that they've got Bill Belichick in house. I'm gonna start with you, Tate. Is this a great? I don't even want to ask you if it's a good move. Obviously, if they don't have a coach, they got rid of Mac Brown, who couldn't stop cheating and losing. How do you cheat and lose? Because now they got Bill Belichick, who's known cheater, but he's a winner. How many years until North Carolina is a top dog, not just in the conference, but nationwide?
Well, I look at it a couple of different ways, man. I think Bill Belichick can turn them around right away. I'm not saying they're gonna make the 12 next year, but he gonna get some good NIL people. Cause I heard they're gonna commit as much money as Ohio State and Michigan and some of the schools do to the NIL.
20 million.
Yeah.
Kids that aren't
20 million endowment.
Kids that aren't playing at other schools, but they're good players, will transfer to UNC for opportunity to play for a legendary coach. Won't say the GOAT coach, because I know Belichick's record minus Brady, and it's a losing record.
Facts.
Substantially losing. I think like 28-39 without Brady.
Facts. You don't want to segment people's records, right? I mean, he still got to go
on. So I think he turned it around. Part of his contract deal was they got to spend a certain amount of NIL money. So you got that. You got his cachet and profile that's going to draw kids in the transfer portal.
Mhm.
You got that. He don't have to go sit at nobody's kitchen table and recruit. You got recruiters for that. So he can focus on football and teaching and the players, even though young, I think there's a generational disconnect. There'll be one. I mean, Bill Belichick, I heard he let his guys have fun, but we know how the Patriots locker room and stuff has always been perceived. Not fun. You know what I mean? Kids still want to play and want to have fun and be kids, but maybe Bill will fit in when he brings his 23-year-old girlfriend with him and go to some frat parties.
Big facts.
You know? I think that's a potential thing. But yeah, man, I mean, it's gonna work initially, but Bill Belichick also signed his contract as a stipulation. He can leave as of June 2nd next year.
I thought he was locked in for 3 years.
No, he can leave after June 2nd of 25.
You're right. I heard that his first 3 years of his 5-year deal is guaranteed.
Facts.
He can walk. He can walk after June. You're right.
And he gonna walk. He gonna prove himself this year. It'll be NFL opportunity somewhere. He still wants to get shooter's record, and he's trying to set it up to lead this job for his son.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So Pay, I agree with everything Tate said, but I think that Bill Belichick is in it for the long haul. I don't think Bill Belichick wants to go back to the NFL.
At 73 years old?
I don't think he wants to go. I think he's in it for the term of his contract. He's in it for the term of his contract. He's not going back to the NFL. I think if it's a 5-year deal, he's going to finish it out or finish at least 4 to 5. I think he wants to be around his son. I think he wants to show his son the ropes. And now that you don't have to mask money like how you had to do years ago, Belichick is almost perfect for the college game because he can not just worry about stockpiling talent from a recruiting base, but he can actually go buy the guys that he wants based on the commitment that was given by the university. The university already puts massive amount of money in the basketball program. Now they're going to start dumping massive amount of money in the football program. I look for stadium upgrades. He's already hired a full recruiting staff, not just 1 or 2 guys. He has another coach for recruiting, and they all go and do the work. So he's got a recruiting staff, and he's going to get some NFL guys to come down and coach, just like Prime got some NFL guys to come down and coach over at Colorado. And when you start getting, and you can sell a kid on the idea that I'm going to get you ready for the NFL, and he can make phone calls.
And just to interject on and agree with what you're saying, and he gonna get that school a lot of exposure. They're gonna be on TV every week now.
So, Pay, to answer your question, I think as soon as they get a quarterback, they're in the game. As soon as they get a dog, be it if it's a transfer or they get a recruit that's a dog quarterback. Because North Carolina's put good quarterbacks in the pros. You know? Yeah, Drake May was pretty good. Mitch was washed, but he wasn't that bad in college. Drake May's pretty good. Not
and
bad.
The dude that just got drafted before Drake May, I mean.
You're talking about starts with a B.
He plays for the Commanders.
Yeah.
I think he's the backup quarterback for the Commanders.
I forget his name. I'm blanking on his name right now. But yeah, you're right. All 3 of those guys that you're talking about, Mitch, up into Drake, they have some prolific college seasons.
Dude, he got traded from the Commanders. He played for, I think, Seattle now.
That might be right, Tay. That might be right. But he played at Carolina. Go ahead, Pay.
No, I was agreeing with you. Those guys, Carolina's had some prolific quarterbacks in the last decade, right? And from based on what I heard Bill Belichick saying on the Pat McAfee show, maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, about his plan for recruiting, well, not for recruiting, but molding players, coaching them up at college. I think that's the best selling point that you can ever have
Facts.
You know, like you said, you said he doesn't got to recruit. I think he just did all his recruiting right there. Like, hey, if you want to be ready to be ready for life after college, whether that's football or not, come talk to me. I'll get
Sam
Howe.
Sam Howe.
Sam Howe, yeah. He said, come talk to him. Come talk to him at Chapel Hill. I'll get you set up. I'll get you the discipline. I'll get you the work ethic. I'll get you how to get things done. It's like sort of like how these Army recruiters talk to you, right? I think that's it. Like you said, Tate, there's guys playing, not as former 4-star guys that's not seeing any tick where they are now. That's their shot right there. They said, that's
their shot at an all-time NFL coach to play under him. That's their shot at all the exposure, and that's their shot at experience from an all-time NFL coach.
Right, because this may not necessarily be the point anymore, because now you've seen the college game and the NFL game has become, more so in sync versus, like it used to be. You know how you had to spread offenses, and they don't really do that in the NFL. Now you see both of them do it right. But Bill Belichick does have an ace up his sleeve here. He can tell you exactly what they're looking for at the next level. Like college coaches, they're trying to win. They're trying to keep their job and trying to get themselves positioned for a better job. Bill Belichick has already had the better job. He's already succeeded at the better job. He ain't focused on that. He can tell you right now, I'm trying to make you the best you can be. And I can do that because I got it all up here. None of them other guys are selling you a dream. I've lived it. Come get this from me. Pause.
I agree with that, man. Big G, put on your level up hat. And the quarterback from USC is transferring.
Miller Moss, yeah.
Is he any potential? I mean, when I watched him early this season, he seemed like he could be a good quarterback. And I think that's a Bill Belichick kind of quarterback.
I can see Bill Belichick going after Malik Murphy, who just hit the transfer portal out of Duke.
From Texas?
Yeah, for Texas originally, just went 1 year to Duke, had a decent season. I can see him maybe going after a guy like that. I can see him maybe going after Quinn Ewers, because if Quinn Ewers doesn't do what he needs to do, Quinn Ewers definitely needs another year of college because he's going to be a 3rd or 4th round pick, but he can't stay at Texas. So I can see him maybe going after a guy like that.
They got to get Arch on the field.
Arch got to play. So I can see him maybe getting a guy who's like right on the verge and saying, okay, listen, I can Tom Brady.
The kid transferred from went to Michigan and went to Iowa, was transferring too.
Yeah, but he
McNamara.
Yeah, he's not gonna play ever. He's not
gonna play.
Yeah, no, not in the league. Not in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Not in the NFL. But Belichick needs a kid that can train. Belichick needs a kid to have a really good season to bring in the recruit. You see what I'm saying? Because all he needs is one. Because really think about it, it's 5 years. So if he gets a transfer portal kid and then he gets a dog quarterback and he can groom him for 3 years, my career's done and I just set the program up. I've set it up for my son and whoever else is going to remain there. So that's why I said I think his tenure he's staying at Chapel Hill, bro. And guess what? They're going to love him in Chapel Hill. They're going to treat Bill Belichick like a god in Chapel Hill. I'm telling you, he won't get Dean Smith treatment, but he's going to get some very good treatment. They're going to treat him like a god.
Is he going to get Roy Williams treatment?
Possibility pay.
No.
Possibility pay. If he gets to the playoff and wins a game or two, and they're relevant every year. Well, see, I got a conspiracy theory too, and I'm going to say my theory and I'm done. I think that this hiring of Bill Belichick will mean that now the Big Ten will aggressively go after North Carolina, North Carolina State, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. I think, personally, but that sways it because but getting teams, you got to have flagship programs come in for football. Va-Tech and Carolina can be those. They're already very good in basketball, but now you add them in as flagship programs, tier 1 research institutes in the Big Ten. Oh yeah, this might seal the deal to get North Carolina to the Big Ten because I've been calling it all along.
So that just means Florida State gets stuck, huh?
Adios, muchachos, my friend. Get up out of here. Adios,
You know,
muchachos.
that's funny because they want to get out and then they get stuck with the ACC while it gets blowing up. But G, to that point again, unless Big Ten is going to pay their exit fee and then pay them even more money than they're paying their already members, a bigger slice of the Big Ten pie, it's not going to happen because the ACC their contract is ironclad. You can't get out of that conference.
TV deals are some strange things, Pay.
They are. Shout out to
strange things.
Yeah. Shout out to ESPN because they did their thing on that one.
There's some strange things, and they can tilt it real quick, fast, and hurry.
What you all got coming up?
Would the Big Ten want Pitt?
No. The Big Ten wants North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and maybe Notre Dame.
Wasn't Pitt in the Big Ten? Where did Pitt come from?
Never.
Pitt came from
Big East.
Big East. Right. Okay. Nobody want them, huh? Trash.
Get them out of here. Get them. They're not going to be competitive. But North Carolina, Va-Tech, that's competitive. Then that helps. That helps solidify the base. You done locked in the base. Now you already coast to coast. Now you done locked in
coast to coast.
Yeah, you done locked it in, boy. You done locked it in. Like, it's gonna get ugly.
And the SEC is not coast to coast.
Facts. They're never gonna go after no Arizona or no. They ain't gonna get Oregon or Washington or all the teams. That's why we swooped them. We got UCLA, USC, Oregon, and Washington to lock it down. Now we just got to take care of that one little pocket so we can make sure that we hurt the SEC concerning the recruiting base.
Up the Eastern Seaboard.
Yep. They need a DMV. Lock it down.
You already got Rutgers in Maryland.
Yep. Lock it down. Carolina State, Virginia Tech, lockdown. DMV. It's over. Lock it down.
Could the Big Ten bring Harvard and Yale in?
No, hell no. Never. Never. Hey, Northwestern might have been adios muchachos if they didn't just dump. Pay how much money they dump in that stadium, bro?
So Northwestern, it's about that, if not more. Like that new stadium they're building up there in Evanston, Illinois, right off the lake. It's a lot. It's going to be a very impressive stadium, and it's pissing the Bears off because, like, hey, how come we can't add something like that?
Northwestern Stadium, boss. That new stadium is boss. So they had to up the ante. Nebraska Stadium about to be boss. What did they get done? To be in the Big Ten, you got to be a tier 1, and you got to be able to dump about 200 million, 250 million. You got to dump it to get it, and otherwise you gone.
AFL 67, yeah. You old and tired now, AFL. Go to sleep. Talk about pay, spin, wisdom.
All right. So what you all got coming up on? We talked about a lot today. What you all got coming up on Sunday? We got a week away. We're a week away from the college football playoffs starting. I'm hoping you all go give your picks. Get out there on record.
We got a know-it-alls thing that amongst us that's for ESPN that you were supposed to put it in. Pay. You got invited to it. Did you do your picks?
No, I didn't.
I didn't do mine. I need mine to resend to me. I deleted that thing on accident.
Well, but yeah, we're gonna do some picks, Pay. We definitely gonna do some picks. We're gonna definitely be heavy NFL this Sunday. Critical games this week. So we'll talk a little bit of hoops.
Potential Super Bowl matchups.
Yeah.
You got the Bills and Lions, and you got the Steelers and Eagles. I mean, so we're gonna break down and assess those games. We probably talk about a little more than usual NBA this week, and set the table for the beginning of the college football playoffs. It's the 4 games next week.
Yeah, the 20th and the 21st. The 20th and 20th. I think the primetime game for Friday
is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Yeah, I mean, in the primetime game for Saturday is Ohio State, Tennessee.
But also the other 2 games on Saturday.
Yeah, it's 2 games on Friday and 2 games on Saturday.
I thought it was one game on Friday and then
You might be
3
right.
games on Saturday.
You might be right, but
like the noon game, the 3:30 game, and the 8 o'clock game.
yeah. But Tate, pay. Ohio State done dumped $1 million in the light show. LeBron gave it to him. $1 million. It's a scarlet out. They wearing all scarlet uniforms with gray sleeves, some LBJ shoes. So I'm gonna be hyped talking all that mess over on the Know It Alls podcast on Sunday, pay. I'm gonna be able to talk crazy. I hope to God they do, because if not, you already know, Mr. Day.
You could potentially be showing up at the shoe Saturday night, ain't you, Big G? Maybe.
Yeah, sneaking in there, do something like that, something at the shoe, something like that. You know, God is good all the time. so I'm gonna get to sneak
Big
on
G,
in and do something like that.
That's a level up question for you from AFL.
You know what quarterback I really like coming from? Yeah, he's from Austin, Texas. He went to Westlake High School. It's a home game for him.
Same high school as Drew Brees.
Yeah, and Nick Foles, same high school.
Nick Foles.
Yep. But if
some Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Facts.
That might be the only high school that got 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
That's big facts. But if they can attack,
Pay, you can't name no other high school that got 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's big facts.
I see these schools, they bred players, so it wouldn't surprise me if there are some other schools out there that got, championship quarterbacks, multiple. It wouldn't surprise me.
Super Bowls, Pay.
Let me do some research.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this much though, and I mean this: if K. Klubnik can attack Texas vertically, Texas is on upset alert.
Well, I didn't really watch Clemson this year until that game against SMU. Does he have that potential? Do he have them receivers, Big G?
They just young, they babies. But they can go vertical. They fast now. They fast. They ain't slow.
Because I actually be rooting against Dabo. I mean, now that he's underdog, I might go for him.
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't assume this to begin with. The Mannings went to the same school.
No, they didn't.
Isidore Newman High School.
That's in New Orleans, Louisiana, on the West Bank.
Okay, I mean,
I lived 5. It's in Slidell.
What he's saying is Eli and Peyton went to the same high school.
Oh yeah. The Mannings did go to. Yeah, that's 2. So that's probably the only other school. Slidell.
Right.
I lived 4 blocks. I lived 4 blocks from Newman High School when I lived in New Orleans. 4 blocks away. So I could go up my house, go up the street 4 blocks, and there was Newman when I lived in New Orleans. So, but yeah.
So is New Orleans or Louisiana the state with the most Super Bowl winning quarterbacks?
From high school?
Yeah, that's high school players.
Well, you got both the Manning boys.
How many Super Bowls is that?
That's 4.
And how many other Super Bowls you got? There's one guy that got 4 from Louisiana.
Who? A quarterback?
Terry B.
Oh, that's it. Lock it up. Lock it up.
That's 8 of them things.
That's lockdown.
Wait a second.
Lock it up.
California. Joe Montana's from California, right? Where do you go?
Pennsylvania.
Tom Brady from California, though.
Right. Tom Brady's from California. I'm blanking.
Trent Dilfer from California?
I'm not sure. I'm not
from
sure.
Texas. He went to Trent Dilfer went to Fresno State. Yeah, I think he went to Fresno State. I'm pretty sure he did. Went to Fresno State. Yeah, but I don't know if he might be from California. I thought he was from Texas. Maybe not. But I know he went to Fresno State. So, Brady gives you 6. I mean, you in the running because Brady got 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
what he said?
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers from California.
Rodgers got 1.
You got 1. That's 7 right there.
Yeah. So you got 8. You got 8 with Bradshaw.
No, but Brady got 7. So Aaron Rodgers, that's 8.
Yeah, they right there with him neck and neck. But double up high school, the original question, double up high school. Yeah, Newman High School in Slidell, Louisiana. Westlake in Austin, Texas. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know another high school that got more than 2 or got 2 in the country. Marino's from Pittsburgh. There never was another dog out of Pittsburgh. He didn't win no chip. Troy Aikman is from California. He got 3 chips. Joe Montana's from Pennsylvania. He went to Notre Dame's. Yeah, I don't know, dog. I don't know. Kurt Warner's from Iowa.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, and Paul Warfield, Ohio State, ain't he?
No.
He not?
No. I think Warfield went to Notre
The
Dame.
Ohio State University.
Thank you. Thank you, B Dirt. Man, I always got to be right all the time.
That's bias. Everybody misses on the show, dog. Everybody misses.
Trent Dilfer from California.
Yeah, so that's 9.
More
That's
than
9
9.
from California.
More than 9, because we already said Brady's got 7, A-Rod got 8, and you got you said not Delfer, but Troy Aikman. He's from California.
Think so. He went to Oklahoma.
I thought he did go to Oklahoma to UCLA initially.
Yep. Let me see where he's from. I got him.
He's from California,
Okay.
West Covina.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Big
so California probably 1. I would probably bet Louisiana as 2, and then I probably would put my money on Texas being 3. As far as high school quarterback. Oh yeah, John Elway from the big California. I forgot about Elway.
Mm.
Yeah, for real.
California. Yeah, California.
Yeah, that's
Elway. It's over.
all right. Well, per capita, Louisiana got the most quarterbacks that won Super Bowl games.
Yeah. The Elway boys and Bradshaw. I mean, not the Elways, the Manning boys and Bradshaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a great hour, too, guys, of the homies. Once again on Fridays. Thanks to you, everybody, for watching and checking us out and spending some time with us Friday evening. It could be anywhere. You could be anywhere on your, not just Freaky Friday, a nightmare before Christmas, because today's Friday the 13th. So you could have been anywhere doing that, hiding underneath your bed, trying to stay away from dark and scaries, but you spent it with us. You only had to listen to G being scary. So we appreciate that. As we said, check us out again on Sunday during the witching hour, but during the lull in the second slate. You got the know-it-alls come to you live, same bad time, same bad channel. You all know where to find it. If you didn't see that QR code, pop it up there again, Tate, so everybody can check that out. So they know where to catch us on Sunday. You just go ahead and scan that, and you know where to be. G, Tate, have you got anything else?
You still want your top 3 running back room?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for bringing it back, G. Homework is due. G, kick it off. Top 3 running back duos.
All right, I got a dark horse, man, at number 3.
I want to hear it.
Michael Vick and Warwick Dunn.
Get out.
They was killing them.
Number
Look up
2.
the stats.
Supposed to be running back combo, ain't it?
Mike Vick had 1,000 something.
That's not running backs, though.
He had 1,000-yard rushing season.
Oh, he killed him. Mike Vick and Warwick Dunn killed him.
Oh,
Look it up.
I don't know about that.
But he's not a running back.
Hey, man, that boy was out there killing him. So I like that. I'm biased. I'm going to pick Biner and Mac.
That was a good combo.
That's a dog. And then big bias for number 1, Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer. Big bias.
Yeah, big bias.
Big old bias for me on that one. I don't care.
Tate,
Well,
does yours have the same bias in it?
No. Go ahead and read Claude's $5 super chat. Thanks to the homie, the governor of the Matrix. We're honored to have any governor be with us on a Friday night. So thank you, Claude.
He said, I'm sorry, G, for thinking that you knew anything about football. My bad, but a great show anyway. Claude, get in the Matrix. Just stay over there, man. Stay over there.
Hey, Pay.
Claude need this fix every week, man. He can't help himself, bro. He need it.
All right. I'm going to say And I'm going to say my number 3, Herschel Walker, Tony Dorsett.
That was
Played
big
together.
trash.
That's big trash.
How's that trash?
I'm looking up the stats. Go ahead. Let me look at
I
these
don't care
stats.
about the stats. We talk about all-time running back tandems. Them two are the great all-time running backs. And my first one is Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson. Uno, Nuno.
I would have put that number 3, but okay. All right.
And just because I'm jumping out of order, I'm thinking off the top of my head. I knew Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen was my number 1. My number 2 would probably be I'm somewhere between, it's either the Cleveland boys that G said or Al Stott and Warwick Dunn.
That's
I'm not going.
That's one of my OLIs, the Tampa Bay Bucks running back duo of the late 90s, Dunn and Allstott. I like them. That was Lightning and Thunder before Lightning and Thunder was a thing. Me, I'm gonna give some reverence to history. I got Larry Zonka and Mercury Morse. R.I.P. Big Merc.
That's a good one.
Undefeated squad, the only one ever. Number 2. This is gonna make y'all mad. Sonic and Knuckles, David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs.
Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Come on, man. Get up. Stop that, man. Come on, man. Get up out of here.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Come on, man. Stop it, Pay. Stop it.
It's too early.
Okay, maybe I should flip them. Maybe I should put them in number 3. But they are putting up some numbers together.
Over Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris?
My list, G. My list.
Oh, Lord.
Number 1, since everybody has a biased list, my number 1 is Red Grange and Bronco Nagurski. The Bears.
Man, if I was going with the Bears, I'd take Walter Payton and Matt Shuey over them.
Or Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo.
Yeah, Brian Piccolo's a good story because of the movie Brian song, but I don't even know what Brian Piccolo did on the field.
You know who all of us left off the list, and they were some dogs.
Who?
Together. Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown. They were some dogs. They was dogs.
I feel like Ronnie Brown ain't played enough.
Yeah, not as a duo. Ronnie Brown, he got his shine when they started doing that Wildcat, and Ricky was kicked out the league. But as a duo,
both of them boys went for 1,200.
As teammates,
I'm about to look it up. They was killing them.
They were running Ricky into the ground in Miami.
I think over them, I'd take Brandon Jacobs and Tiki Barber.
Oh, they was killing it too.
Oh yeah, that's another Thunder and Lightning. Yeah,
right.
They went to the Super Bowl. I would definitely put them on the list. Not on my list, but I wouldn't be mad if someone did.
Yeah, no, it's viable to put that on the list.
What's the stats tell you, G? 1,200 apiece in one season? Because I know Ricky Williams had like 400 carries one year. There's no way they had enough time to give Ronnie Brown.
I don't know. Ricky Williams ended up with 10,000 career stats, and Ronnie Brown has almost 6,000. So let me see.
Just go to the season when Ronnie Brown had 1,200 yards. I just want to know what happened.
I'm about to look.
Another one. The Carolina Panthers had a good one. D'Angelo. What was his name? D'Angelo Williams and
Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a real good one.
I can't find it, man. Tate looking. Tate find it, man.
One of my favorite. It didn't happen. One of my favorites. Jacksonville Jaguars. Fred Taylor, MJD. That's up there. Let me see, man. I'm gonna look at this real fast before we get out of here. I just got to see. Ronnie Brown had 1,200 yards ever with Ricky Williams as a teammate. We find this real fast. But G, what you got coming up on Level Up Monday?
Man, it's the college football playoff week, bro. It's gonna be
jumping.
Whoa.
So y'all not talking about the celebration bowl at all?
we're going to cover some bowl games, say what's the best bowl. There's a lot of hate out there for like these other teams not playing in the college football playoff. People are saying whether or not they're going to watch the bowl. I mean, there's hate about Snoop Dogg having a bowl. We're going to talk about the bowls, definitely. But the focus will be on the playoff. But I think there's some serviceable bowl games.
Well, what everybody got members is bowls is about show me the money.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys that ain't sitting out. There's some, but there's a lot. Jalen Milroe's not sitting out. Shedeur Sanders is not sitting out. There's a lot. Now, Michigan's whole team ain't playing.
Alabama playing Michigan, right?
Yeah, both of the defensive tackles for Michigan and Will Johnson ain't playing. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys on Michigan's team not going to play, but Jalen Milroe is playing. So there's a lot of guys who's not sitting out during the bowl season.
Well, Milroe's he's not NFL eligible yet, so I expect him to play.
Yeah, he can go. He's a redshirt sophomore.
Is he?
Yeah, he can go.
Oh, he's coming back though, so it doesn't matter.
I think that's what playing this game is about. It's about getting one last game on tape against a good brand name team in Michigan to try and elevate some of that stock.
So Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams played together in the backfield 1 year. That was Ronnie Brown's rookie season. Ronnie Brown led the team in rushing with 907 yards. Ricky Williams, I think he was coming back from suspension. He played only 12 games, and he had 743 yards.
So nobody was close. No. So Bonner and Mack had 1,000 yards apiece, right?
They did.
Yeah, so they got to be number one.
Maybe twice.
Yeah, but did Blyer and Franco ever go for 1,000 apiece?
They could have though.
Yeah. So yeah, I would go Bonner and Mack number one. I would have to go Bonner and Mack number one.
Yeah, well, they're not better than that Bears duo that I mentioned. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you all next Friday on the Homies. Stay safe. Especially stay safe during this holiday season. Keep your head on the swivel. Watch for your surroundings, and definitely don't let anybody know when you're not at home. Don't be like Joe Burrow. Peace.